Aries, welcome in your monthly reading. This time we are doing the reading for the July. So if you're Sun rising Aries, then feel welcome to watch this video. So yeah, I guess we can start now. So the first card you got is the Eight of Pentacles, which is of course you working a lot, focusing on something, putting in the energy. We have also the Knight of Cups. So I feel like this putting in the energy might have something to do with kind of finding the thing that kind of fulfills you, maybe in the spiritual way, but anyways, just you working on something that kind of makes you happy and fulfill you, or maybe working on finding this something that kind of fulfills you, or maybe it is you working on maybe working also on the relationship with people, something like it may have something to do with love also. Working on making your, for example, relationship or friendship more fulfilling. Yeah, a lot of with emotions also. So I feel like this is something you'll be working on, have something to do with something you are kind of connected emotionally. Like I said, something that just fulfills you. Maybe something related to relationships or friendships. You have the Justice reverse. Yeah, I feel like you'll be kind of have something to do with something just unfair, but we'll kind of clarify this in a minute. Let's get more cards now. So we have the Ten of Wands. So yeah, I kind of see you like being kind of tired of this injustice that is happening in your area, but I also get the feeling that you might be kind of focused on the injustice in the world, in the overall. Yeah, you might be kind of focusing in the on the injustice in the world, in people, in overall. I kind of get that feeling, but it might also be related to you personally. But I feel like you'll be just like really concerned about this. Also, maybe you'll be working on something or something like that, but I kind of get a feeling you'll be kind of tired. But I kind of get a feeling it might be kind of more mental than physical kind of tiredness. Yeah, let's get more cards. So we have the Emperor reversed, which might be just like being kind of yeah, I kind of get a feeling it might it might have something to do with this injustice. Maybe you'll be dealing with someone who is just like really someone who is just like using people or kind of being unfair, maybe being even aggressive towards others, maybe towards you. For some of you it might be, but I also get the feeling that some of you might be really unstable in this month of July, and I kind of get a feeling that some of you just might be kind of unstable, or you be really irritated by the bad people, and what are they kind of doing with this injustice. And we have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, kind of satisfaction about something. I kind of get the feeling it might be something you with this thing you'll be kind of working on. And the last card, let's say, it is the Nine of Wands reversed. So yeah, I kind of get a lot of kind of energy of being tired of people being kind of just assholes in the overall, and kind of get that feeling like you'll be really into that injustice in the world kind of stuff. A lot of instability and a lot of injustice, but I also you see to hear satisfied. It might be that you'll be kind of finishing this thing you started working on the beginning of month, and you were working really hard on that, and you were just really maybe close to giving up, or maybe to kind of maybe not giving up, because I didn't kind of get the energy you giving up, but more likely like you being on the edge, something like that. Okay, but now let's get more clarification on those cards. So we have a King of Wands reversed. Yeah, also the authority, if I say this right. I kind of get the feeling that you'll be really like irritated by someone who kind of was the authority for you, someone who was an example for you, and I feel like you'll be kind of irritated from with this person, and in overall with people who are kind of being the example for others, like doing bad things and stuff like that. I feel like you'll be really irritated by that. Yeah, and justice is reversed again, so yeah, I kind of get a lot of energy of you kind of being focused on the injustice that is happening in the world, but it also might have something to do with you being personally kind of treated unfairly by maybe people, maybe in the job, in the just anything, right? Also, I kind of get the feeling you'll be really also focusing not only on the injustice, but also on the cruel things that are happening in the world, and I feel like you'll be really like sensitive and emotional in the month of July with this Knight of Cups. Later on we have Six of Wands reverse, so something not coming to the end. Maybe this thing you were working on at the end will not kind of come to the terms, because you'll be kind of too deep on the edge, but I kind of maybe it will be something else that will just not come to the end. Some transformation will not come to the end. I kind of get that feeling. We have the Fool reversed, so yeah. Yeah, that might have something to do with this. I kind of get a feeling that you will kind of be really undecisive about something, and you'll be just like backing off from that thing, because you'll be really undecisive and not sure if you should kind of go into that thing, because maybe it would be too risky for you. We have the Temperance reversed. So yeah, also I get the feeling that maybe you'll be having to kind of make some decision fast, and that's why you'll be really like not sure if you should kind of take the risk. That's why you'll be kind of not taking this, and this thing will not kind of come to terms, this transformation or whatever this is. Also I feel like something will just not work out simply. I feel like it might have something to do with you being at the edge, or you kind of being concerned with this injustice, and I feel like maybe this decision you will have to make might have something to do with injustice, or something unethical, something you are kind of you will not kind of let yourself do, because it would be just not right for you to do this for you. Yeah, and I just feel like you'll be kind of backing up off from this, because you're just like thinking like this is not the person you are, and you are not doing anything like that. I kind of get the feeling that you kind of lose the respect for someone who might be kind of your example or something like that. I kind of get the feeling that you'll be just like giving up on someone who you thought is like example for you. It might have something to do with a father figure, and as it might have something to do with you kind of noticing something, some injustice with something related to your father. Also we have the Emperor, this time not reversed. So also, as I said, I feel like you'll be working a lot on something, and I feel like you'll be just like making a lot of goals come true, but I feel like it mostly with the goals that kind of makes you fulfill. So I feel like you'll be really going and doing those things you want to do, that kind of fulfills you. And I feel like you'll be really having a lot of ambition in this in this month. Also with this injustice, I kind of get a feeling that you'll be really like maybe passionate about kind of fighting with injustice in the world, with cruel people and stuff like that. Also we have the Page of Wands, so a lot of creativity. As I said, maybe you will be kind of as I said, going into this injustice and trying to kind of go into this and kind of, you know, think about some solutions, maybe not even in the outside world, but in your life. Like, how can you, for example, change your life to be less kind of hurtful for kind of the world and people and stuff like that. Maybe you'll be kind of caring more about the environment, or I don't know, I just get a lot of you kind of being concerned about the injustice in the world, being kind of tired of this. But you also, as I said, you'll be very ambitious in the month of June, and you'll be with this motivation and ambition, if I say this right. You'll also be creative, so that's a really good kind of connection with those both things, which can kind of lead to a lot of good things. So, and I feel like you'll be really using this in this month. That's why you'll be really satisfied. And as I said, I feel like you'll be some of you might even kind of try to fight with this injustice, and I think like this will kind of make you really happy to kind of see you kind of changing something just in the world, or in your life, by, I don't know, for example, you will be stopping to eat meat or something like that, just an example. But I feel like those changes in your life, or you going and changing something outside, will make you really happy that you kind of had the chance to kind of change something, right, for better. Yes, so we have Star. So I feel like you'll be by kind of going and doing something, I feel like you'll be kind of gaining more hope that this situation in the world or in your life can kind of change. And I feel like the month of July is kind of you all about kind of being irritated by the injustice, but also gaining more hope to kind of change this situation, and also hope in yourself, just like believing in yourself, and also with this fulfillment. I guess you'll be just like really going for your dreams and what kind of fulfills you, and that kind of will give you more hope that your life can kind of look better, and stuff like that. So yeah, you have also the, how it's called, the Jack of Swords, I think it was called. Yeah, I feel like you'll be kind of pushing yourself at the edge with work and stuff like that, maybe even mentally, but I kind of get the feeling that it will be more physically, but for some of it might be mentally, but you'll be kind of going on the edge, especially with this injustice. I feel like you'll be kind of beating yourself up with this, because you'll be so emotional and sensitive in the month of July. Also with this work, I kind of get the feeling that you'll be really pushing yourself at the edge, and especially with this Emperor, you'll be really ambitious. And I feel like you'll be just like really pushing yourself at the edge to the point where you'll be just like not able to go and continue what you were doing. So it's something you should remember about, to not kind of put yourself at the edge like that. Yeah, so we have the Eight of Swords. So I kind of get a feeling like, as I said, you'll be just like working so hard where you'll be just like at the complete edge of your kind of physical and mental kind of how to say this, kind of possibilities to kind of work, right? Also I feel like because you'll be just like so emotional, and you'll be just focusing so much on the negative things like injustice, I feel like you'll be just like again beating yourself up, and kind of getting into the illusions that world is bad and stuff like that. And also you'll be kind of like stuck in this energy of being negative about the world and this injustice and stuff like that, and with those bad people, and especially with this loss of example you had in your life from someone. And I feel like it will kind of beat you up to the ground for a while, but as I said, I feel like later on you'll be kind of gaining this hope back, especially after you'll be just like going out there and doing something, changing something, or just changing something in your life to kind of help fight with this injustice. And I also, the next card is Four of Wands. Yeah, as I said, I feel like you had someone maybe, or even something, just something in your mind, maybe a person, maybe as I said, a figure, father figure or something like that. And whenever you were kind of doing something, you were kind of looking at this person or this thing and kind of taking them as an example. And now that they are kind of, that they kind of lose the respect in your eyes, and kind of, you know, you just like just lost the respect for them, and just like they stopped like being the example for you, because you just like saw them doing something that is kind of not right, or I don't know, just something with you kind of getting rid of some illusions about this person or this thing. And I feel like after that you'll be just like not having someone or something to come back to and kind of think about when you are doing something, and you'll be kind of lost or stuck for a while because of the loss of this person or thing you were kind of always referring to. Also 10 of Wands again, so a lot of kind of being tired, a lot of being at the edge, and also yeah, but 10 of Wands, it's not reversed, so I feel like you'll be kind of finishing this thing you will be working on, but I feel like there will be other thing that will kind of push you to the edge. But I feel like one thing that you, and I can't speak, however, okay, I feel like you'll be working on 2 or more things in this month because you'll be so ambitious, but I feel like this thing that you'll be working on, which will have to do with something that fulfills you or something like that, will kind of come true. That's why you'll be so satisfied. But there will be other things that you'll be pushing yourself too hard to, and I feel like they will be kind of pushing you to the edge, and I feel like some of them will not kind of come true, especially with this something kind of related to the transformation or something like that. Also we have the Ace of Swords reversed. So I kind of get a feeling that there will be something made here by you or you and other people, and I feel like just you will not have kind of a clear intention in this, and you just be not able to kind of do this because your intentions will be not kind of clear, I would say. I just feel like you'll be just like I don't know how to say this. I get the energy, but I can't kind of explain this. You'll be just like trying to do something, but because you'll be so you'll be so not organized that it will not kind of work out, because you'll be just like maybe not even putting all your energy in. Or maybe you'll be having even the blockages. As I said, I feel like for some of you it might be that you'll be kind of having some decision to make, but because you'll be not completely sure, and just some parts of you will be saying yes, and some of you just like no, you will just it will just not work out naturally. Because if it's not it, then it's just something with you kind of not putting in the full effort, because you'll be having just some blockages in your mind, and that's why something would just not end successfully, or just you kind of not making a good strategy, I would say. Next we have the Eight of Wands. So I feel like some of you will be doing some change. This may have something to do with this thing you'll be working on, and it will be kind of successful. But I feel like some of you, if this is kind of related to this, it might not be. But however, a lot of you will be kind of doing the change in your life, and I feel like it will be the long-term change. So it will be the change that will last not only for July but also for the next other months. So yeah, just some changes that will, yeah, actually changes is a good word. And I feel like it might have something to do with this injustice. As I said, with this injustice, I feel like you'll be kind of making changes, maybe outside, maybe in your life personally, and I feel like those changes will kind of stay with you for a long-term time. So yeah, that's looking good for you. And we have also the Two of Swords reversed, which I don't remember what it meant because those are new cards. So let me just take my, yeah, I put a salt on that note. Okay, anyways, Two of Swords. Those cards actually didn't have in guidebook the reverse meaning, so I have to kind of made my own. Okay. So it will be kind of you running away from the being honest with yourself, I feel like, and I don't know with what it would be kind of related to, so let me pull out one more card. So you have the Sun reversed. Okay, so it will be you sitting in the old energy and not willing to admit it, not willing to admit that you are still sitting in something that is toxic for you, and not being honest with yourself. So I feel like it might have something with this person that is an example for you. It might be that you've been not willing for a while to kind of admit that this person is not as perfect as you thought. It might not be even a person, just something you that was an example for you, or maybe even a vision in your head that just come out not to be as beautiful as you thought. However, it might have also to do with this injustice, and maybe this injustice was something that you maybe noticed before, but you were not kind of admitting to it. You were not admitting that this is wrong and stuff like that. For example, maybe you knew that, for example, eating meat is, for example, wrong, but you didn't kind of admit it to yourself, and you just knew this is wrong, but you didn't kind of admit it to yourself, so you kind of lived in that, and you are not kind of honest with yourself. And I feel like in the month of June, you'll be kind of starting to kind of be honest with yourself and kind of changing the things that kind of bothers you and you know that aren't right. It might not be even about the injustice, just you'll be just like finally admitting to something that is kind of wrong and kind of changing this and getting out of this old energy or this even old way of thinking, right? So yeah. Wow. Okay. And that's why I feel like it will be related to those long-term changes, which will kind of last for long. Also, it might be that some of you, there might be a second message also, that some of you will still not want to kind of admit to something, and it would be kind of going on for the all month, and it will be one of the main energies that you've been just not wanting to admit to something, for example, to something that is just not right for you, or does not fit you. It might be even about this example you have, or this vision, and I feel like you'll be just not willing to admit. It might be for some of you that for some of you it might take few kind of days to kind of get over this and start being honest with yourself, but for some of you it might be that it will kind of take a month. I kind of get this feeling, but I kind of would kind of want to kind of take another card for clarification. Okay, so we have the so we have the Six of Cups. So yeah, as I said, for most of you it will be the example you have in some person or in some vision or something like that. I just get the feeling, yeah, like you'll be, for example, making this vision come true, and it will not kind of turn out to be that great as you thought, but you'll be just like not willing to admit it. So you'll be kind of, you know what I mean. Yes, I get just the feeling that you'll be kind of dealing with some visions that are not as beautiful as you thought. For some of you, also for some of you it might be this example I talked about, and for some of you just this injustice, just you being this unconscious kid, like you see, just you being this unconscious kid who just doesn't want to kind of grow up and see that some things are wrong. Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm kind of not sure about those two cards yet, so I think I will clarify them more, because we have the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Wands reversed, which is you kind of having a lot of responsibility or work to do, but you are able to do this, right? And with this is kind of being how to say this, being on the edge, just right. So as I said, I feel like you have to deal with two things, and I feel like this first thing that you'll be kind of dealing with is this thing you are kind of working on and that is kind of making you fulfill. And I feel like this thing you kind of put a lot of work in, but it will at the end come true, right? You make it, right? Because it will be work you will be able to take. But then there will be this other thing that you'll be not able to take. And I feel like it might be for some of you even mentally. And I feel like it might have something to do with this example or this injustice, or even both, right? However, also I feel like you'll be really at the edge with this injustice stuff, especially as I said, you'll be kind of sensitive and emotional in the month of June. So I feel like you'll be really on the edge mentally because of this injustice in your life or in the world and overall. So yeah, that's really interesting. So maybe now let's pull out the oracle cards. So we have first the Grace. Okay. Grace. Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that you just like feeling like this injustice and maybe even this example of yours. No, not like that. I can't speak. I really can't speak. You'll be just like noticing that this example you had or this vision you had isn't just like so spotless as you thought, and they are just not perfect, right? And also this injustice, I feel like you'll be just like having the feeling that that's not something that should kind of be in the world and even exist in the world. I kind of get this feeling that you'll be just having this feelings like something is just so bad, so kind of dirty and stuff like that, and you just like I can't explain this feeling. Protection. I kind of get the feeling it's with this example thing, or just you sitting in something and not admitting to something that something is wrong, and I feel like that's because you'll be kind of protecting yourself, especially if this is an example and with this example you have, or this vision, I feel like you'll be kind of not admitting to this because you'll be so kind of wanting to protect yourself from kind of getting hurt by this. Also, injustice, I feel like for some of you, as I said, it might be not you kind of focusing on the injustice in the world, but kind of in the injustice in your life. And I feel like you'll be really focused on kind of protecting yourself from the injustice, or just something injustice that might and unfair that might happen to you. And I feel like that's why some of you will be kind of making those changes to kind of protect yourself. That's for some of you. And we have the strength. Yeah, especially with this emperor, I feel like you'll be really ambitious, and that's why you'll be having a lot of motivation and kind of strength to kind of go and do some work, and maybe even work about yourself. It might be even self-development. So yeah. So I don't know if I should pull out more cards from this deck. I feel like I will. So abundance, if I say this right, and listening. Yeah, with this listening, I kind of get a feeling it's a lot about this working about this thing that kind of fulfills you. I feel like you'll be really, for some of it might be, as I said, self-development, so you'll be really like listening to yourself. Also, I feel like you'll be really like listening to your heart. Even in the June, I kind of get this feeling you'll be really like as I said, really sensitive. Even I feel like you'll be even listening to your emotions, like yeah. So I feel like you will just like have a lot of emotions in the month of June, a lot of even passion, I would say. Yeah. I feel like a lot of will be even happening in your life in June for some of you. Also listening, as I said, this kind of reminds me of an example, like there were maybe someone who kind of whom you were listening to a lot, and you were just taking example from them, and now you're just like you will not have someone to kind of take example from, and I feel like this will kind of make you, I would not even say lost, because I don't feel like you'll be lost. I feel like it would be just like new step for you to kind of start kind of being more independent even. So that's interesting. Okay. Next card is the Angel of Destruction. So yeah, as I said, a lot of kind of you focusing on the injustice, on the kind of cruel things, cruel people in the world, in your life even. And I feel like you'll be really like emotional about those things, and really I kind of get the feeling a lot about the you kind of stopping eating meat, and about the caring more about the environment, or about other unfair things happening right now in the world. But it might be even about your personal life, about you kind of being focused on the things that kind of are destroying your life in some way, maybe even your health. I kind of get this. Yeah, so next card is emptiness. Yes, as I said, you'll be kind of feeling I don't want to say lost, but let's say lost for now, but you'll be kind of feeling lost without this example or this vision you had in your mind. You'll be kind of feeling lost, but not lost, because as I said, it would kind of be a step for you being more independent. So I guess you'll be just like feeling empty for a while, but this is something you'll be just like slowly getting used to kind of trust in yourself and taking example for from what you think you is right and what's not. Yeah, you kind of get to think that this changes you will make related to the injustice, I feel like it might be the effect of you kind of trusting more in yourself than on this example or vision you have in your mind. So that's really interesting. Also, I feel like you'll be just like starting a new path, new chapter in your life with the fresh energy. Yeah. And one more is the Angel of Revenge. Yeah, so as I said, just you kind of taking a lead and kind of fighting with injustice in your life on the outside world, especially with protection. I feel like you'll be maybe not even taking the revenge, but more likely just protecting yourself in some way. Or maybe I would say more likely that would be the revenge in the way where like people are making fun of you and something like that, and then you just go and change yourself completely, and this type of revenge, you know what I mean. Anyways, last cards for you are the messages. So success. So yeah, first of all, yeah, a lot of kind of you being ambitious, working on the success in the month of June. We have the opportunity. So yeah, mostly I guess the opportunity to change, kind of make some changes in your life, especially with this motivation, ambition, and creativity you have, and the sensitivity and you being emotional. It's the kind of opportunity to you to kind of change, make some changes in your life, especially that. With this card, I kind of get a feeling that those changes could be really long-term changes. Um, and we have meditation will bring answer. So yeah, as I said, I feel like you'll be really in your mind and in your feelings and just thinking about this injustice in the world, and I feel like you'll be just like really focusing on the thinking in the month of July, like on your about kind of what you are doing and what is right and what is wrong, and just you kind of thinking about this, and I get a lot of reflection and just thinking in overall. So yeah, but in the overall it will be like a big success for you. I get the feeling in July you becoming more independent because you kind of are getting detached from this vision or example you had. So this is a fresh new kind of thinking and fresh energy. You kind of starting with fresh new page, and yeah, just you kind of making some changes because you kind of get the feeling that something is wrong or right. You kind of looking for something that fulfills you or kind of doing something that fulfills you. So yeah, I kind of get a lot of great things for you. So that's interesting energy anyway. So I hope this resonated. If it did, then let me know down below in the comments. I would really appreciate this. If you like the video, leave a like. If you wanna see my face a few times a month, and subscribe. I think that's it. If this is not resonating, check out your moon and rising sign. And I guess that's it. So yeah, take care. Have a nice day, nice week, nice month. Yeah, take care.